So, good morning, Evans.
Good morning, sir.
My name is David Odumegu. I will be your Python instructor for this class.
Okay.
This is going to be a demo class where I'll show you how to program a calculator in Python, a simple calculator. But first, introduce yourself. Let me get to know you.
I'm Evans Martin, and I'm not that experienced in Python, but I have an idea about it.
Good. I'm happy you have an idea about Python. So, this class you will learn some new concepts, while I believe some of the concepts will already be familiar to you. So as I said, we are going to program a calculator, and some of the concepts we'll be using are while loops, if, elif, and else statements for conditional flow, and also we'll be using Python inputs and outputs. Let me show you a demonstration of the program first of all before we start. I'll share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. This is the program, the calculator program we'll be using. Let me show you how the calculator program runs. I'll press F5. You see the question it is asking.
Yes.
Can you
What
read it?
operation do you want to do?
Good. The allowed operations are multiplication, addition, division, and subtraction. So what operation do we choose?
Let's go for addition.
Okay, we'll go for addition. In addition, you need two numbers, the first number and the second number, and you add them together. So can you see the question is asking you?
Yes. It says type the first number you want to add.
So what number do you want to be the first number?
Let's use 11.
11? Now it's
Yeah.
asking for the second number. Do you see it?
Yes.
What?
Let's use 20.
20. 20 plus 11 is what?
31.
Okay, let's see what the calculator program will output to us. It says the answer is what?
31. Yeah.
Good, the answer is 31. So it has calculated the two numbers and giving us the output. Now, do we do another calculation? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll press Y. So what operation do we use now?
Let's do division.
Okay, let's do division. What is it? What do you want to be the numerator?
75.
75. What do you want to be the denominator?
Let's use 5.
5. So the answer is what?
15.
15. So that's it for now. Now let me show you what will happen if you don't put addition, multiplication, division, or subtraction. We'll do another program of put Y. Now, it's addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division we'll do, but let me just say nothing. See what it will say. It says, what does it give you? What's the response?
Check your typing.
Good, error, check your
It
typing.
says error.
You say?
No, I said error. Check your typing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it. So if you don't give it the appropriate operation, the program will tell you there's an error. So let's stop here. I will demonstrate how the program works to you. So that's the demonstration. Now we are going to be using AiDo for our programming tasks. AiDo means integrated development and learning environment. This program here you are watching is an AiDo script. Let me show you an AiDo shell. Okay. This is the AiDo shell. To get AiDo, you first go to your search box and you type AiDo. Are you seeing my search box?
Yes, I am.
You can see search for AiGo and you type AiGo. So you click on it. The first thing that will come is the AiGo shell. Can you see AiGo shell written at the top? It says
Yes.
AiGo shell 3.11.1. What it means, that 3.11.1 means the Python version my computer is using is 3.11.1.
Okay.
So in this shell, you can use this shell to do several things. The shell can be used to get inputs, can be used to get outputs. That is what we just did just now when we input and we output. You can also run programs with the shell. But if you are going to run very long programs, it's not appropriate to use the shell. You need to use a Python script. A Python script is a file with the extension .py. Let me show you
Okay.
how you create a Python script. You just go in your shell, go to your file and create new file. You see that a new file has appeared.
Yes, I can.
You can see the name of the file is written untitled here at the top
Yes.
because you have not saved it. Now let me write a Python script. For example, you must be familiar with print hello world. Not so since you have done
Yes.
Python. Print hello world. This is a simple script. Now, if I want to run this script or this code I've written, I'll first save the file. I'll click save. Or let me show you how you can save it from it. Just go to file and press save. It will open up
Okay.
suggested folder. This folder is the folder where you have your Python programs that will run your shell. Don't save any file in this folder. Instead, I've created a folder already, which I call Python teaching class. This Python teaching class. So I'll save it in this folder and I'll call the file first program. You can see it's saving it as Python files type. Do you see?
Yes.
So I'll click save. You can see now that the name of the file has changed to firstprogram.py.
Yes.
That means this Python file is now a Python script. Now to run this code, I'll press Ctrl F5. So I'll press only F5 button. I'll press F5 button. It has taken us back to the shell. Can you see it?
Yes.
And
Yes, I can.
and what does it print?
Hello world.
Good. It has printed hello world. What was here in the script? It has printed hello world. What was in the script? So that's how you
Yes.
can create a new script, or you can run things from the Python shell. When you want to run your code, just press F5, or you can click on run here. Do you see me? Run here and
Yes.
click run module. If I
One module. Yes.
click it again, it will show you hello world. So now that you know how to use AiGoLearning for programming, let me show you a concept we'll be using throughout this calculator program. It is the concept of input. Input is when the program wants the user to give it data. For example,
Okay.
when we are running the computer program, it asks you to give it the first number and the second number. That prompt, what you enter into the prompt is an input.
Okay.
To get an input, you use the input function. For example, if I want to get your name, I'll use the input function. And what the input accepts is a string. For example, I'll say, what is your name? What is your name? Then I'll print. Okay, let me change the variable to name. Name. What is your name? Then I'll print the name. Let me show you how I'll save the script now Let me show you how it will run. So I'll run it. You see what it says. It says, what is your name? Your name is what?
Yes. Evans.
Evans. If I click enter, it will print out your name. Do you see it?
Yes.
So using this code here, we have successfully imputed your name, and it stores it in a variable called name, and then we printed it out as name. You get it now?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I do.
We'll be using input a lot of time. Now, what input gives to the variable is a string, but you remember that we use numbers for the calculation also.
Yes, we did.
Good. So how do we convert that string to a number? What we do is that we surround this input function with another function, and that function is int. You know, numbers in Python are either int or float. Is it not so?
Yes.
You are familiar with that, right? Good.
Yes.
So surrounding this input with int means we are telling the program convert that string to a number, an integer. You get? That's what int
Yes.
is doing. Is converting the string from input to an integer in the int function. Now, let's say we want to write our age. You say get an input, convert the input using int function to a number, and then store it in age variable. Then let's print it. You see what I did in the second line? I said print age. I'll save it, and then I'll run it now. You see what is, sorry, I didn't change the I'm supposed to change here to age. You
Yeah.
get it? Yes. So now I run it with F5 again. So it says, what is your age? Can you tell me your age?
15.
15. So it gives you your output in the shell, not so 15.
Yes.
We printed it out 15. So that's it. So you can see we can do various things with the input function. We can get user data using the input function. We can also convert it to any type that we want. So we'll be using a lot of inputs in this
Okay.
function. Another concept we'll be using is the if, else if, and else. You know, there is something in Python called conditional statements. That is, if something happens, do this. For example, if rain falls, what will you do?
I will take an umbrella.
Good. So the statement is, if the rain is falling, then take an umbrella. That's for a simple if statement. Now, let's take this more complex if statement. They have several options. For example, if it is morning, then you take lunch. If it is afternoon, then you take dinner. If it is evening, sorry, if it is afternoon, if it's morning, then you take breakfast. If it is afternoon, then you take lunch. And if it is evening, you take dinner. Let me show you how you can construct that if statement. If statement in Python. For example, say if we'll take the user input time of day and say we'll take the input, what is the date time? Then we'll say if time of day is equals to, are you following me? If
Yes,
it
I
is
understand.
this morning, you print take breakfast. Because we have more than one if, more than one condition. The next time we'll use else. You see it
Yes.
with time of day is equals to afternoon print take lunch. Then the last, we have said if it's morning or afternoon. If it's not morning or afternoon, what will it be?
It will be evening or night.
Good. So because that's the last option, we don't use if again. We use else. That means if it's not morning or afternoon, it is evening. Hence, print it is evening. Take dinner. Use it.
Yes.
Good. So can you see how I constructed the if else statement? In the first
Yes, I
option,
can.
I use if. If there are other options, I use if. Then the last option after everything, if it is not everything, the last option I use else. Now let's run this and let me show you how it runs.
I have a question.
Okay, what is your question?
What if there are like 4 options?
Good. What if there are 4 options? Now, in the first one, you use if. The next two, you use if.
Okay, okay,
Then the last one, you use else. You get
okay.
the last
Yes,
one.
I do.
Yes. So let's run the program. It says, what is the daytime?
Let's use morning.
So I write morning. You see what is print? What does
Yes.
it print? Take breakfast. So that's the fundamental way you use if else statement. So we're using user input and if else a lot in this program. So let's start writing a Python program. Let me show you the program flow for writing a Python program. Can you see the program flow?
Yes.
So first we'll get the user input. Then
Mhm.
when we get the user input, we'll first be looking for if the user input is multiply, addition, subtraction, or division. The first thing we do, we check if it is multiply. If it's multiply, we do the operations for multiply, which is in A, B, and C. You get for number 2. That is A, get the
Yes.
2 numbers, B, multiply X by Y, C, print the result, and N. If it is not multiply, we'll go on to the next conditional, which is what?
Addition.
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 Yes, we check for addition. If it is addition, we take the 2 numbers, add them, and print results. Now, if it is not addition, what else do we check for?
Division or subtraction.
So we check for division next. That's how the program flows. If we go to division section to check if it is division, if it is division, we get the numerator and get the denominator. Then we divide the numerator x by the denominator y. Then we print the result. If it's not division, what will it be?
Subtraction.
Then we check if it is subtraction. Then we subtract x from y and print the result. What if it is not multiply, division, addition, or subtraction? What do we say? You say in 6, you say if it is none of the accepted, it's none of the above, what do we do?
It will print error, report, and end.
Go to print error. So we'll follow this program flow one after the other. So let's start. Let's start with our program. So you know how to indicate comments in Python program, not so?
Yes.
Use a hash. So I'll say Python program to calculate numbers. So the first in the program flow says we should get user input. Is it not so?
Yes.
So we should get the input. I'll say user input. Then I'll say input. What operation do you want to perform? You know, we have only 4 accepted operation.
Operation. Yeah.
So I'll say get comment. Okay, always write comment in your code. So what operation do you want to perform? So we have the user input. We have done it. So the next program flow is the input multiply? Is it not so? So
Yes.
what conditional statement will we use?
Third one.
We use if, because we are checking for a condition. Is the user input multiply? We are checking for a condition. So we use what?
If.
We use if. So what I was right here is that check if user input is multiply. So I say if user input dot lower. This is a part. I'm sure you are familiar with dot lower. The lower,
Yes.
yes, the lower says take your string, which is user input, and convert it to lowercase, because we are going to write multiplication in lowercase. If user input lowercase is multiplication, let's look at the program flow. What do we do? Program flow says get the two numbers x and y. Is it not so?
Yes.
So we use user input number 1. We use input. What is the first number? Now, when we use this user input, what did I tell you input? What type of data we input always give?
Huh?
What type of data we input always give to your variable? Is it string or number or float or what?
String.
String. But we need a number, not so.
Yes.
So what do we do?
You put int.
Good, we convert it by surrounding the input with int. We convert it by surrounding the input with int. That's beautiful. Then we do the same thing for number 2. We surround the input with int. What is this second number? Then we surround the input now with int. Opening parentheses, closing parentheses. Now, after we got the two numbers, next it says multiply x by y. Is it not so?
Yes.
2b multiply x by y. So we say the answer is number 1 times what?
Times number 2.
Number 2. Good. So now we print our answer. We now print our answer. We'll say the answer is answer. Do you get it?
Yes.
Now, let's go to the second part of the control flow. What if it is not multiply? What do we check for?
Addition.
Check for addition. What keyword, what conditional statement keyword do we use since we have done the first if? What do we use?
Elif.
Good, we use elif. We use elif. So we say elif user input dot lower. We say, is it addition? Addition. Then we follow the same statement as in the multiplication. We say number 1. Just I'm doing what I did for multiplication. So I will
Yes, I understand.
do what is the first number. Then I'll convert it to int. Convert it to int. So number 2 input. What is the second number? Then I'll convert it to int. Then I'll get the answer. Number 1 plus number 2. Then I'll print the answer. The answer is... Any question?
No, none so far.
So you understand what I did here, right?
Yes.
So we have gone through the control flow for multiply. Okay, let me write the comment for addition. Check if user input is addition. So we have gone through the one for the next, according to our program flow. After addition, what do we check for?
Division.
Good, we check for division. So say, what do we use? If, elif, or else? Which one?
Elif.
Good, we use elif because it's not the last. Is it not so? If user input
Yes.
lower is the division. So this time I'm going to change how the question is asked somehow, because I want you to know that which is the numerator and which is the denominator. Do you get? Do you see
Yes.
how I change the equation somehow? Then since
Yes.
it is a number, I will wrap it with an int to convert it. I'll wrap it with an int to convert it. Then number 2. So input. What is the denominator? Then what do I do next?
You attach the int.
Good. I wrap it with an int. So we'll convert it to a number. Then I say answer becomes number 1, the numerator divided by the number 2. Then I print it out. Is it not so?
Yes.
The answer is answer. So according to the we are finished with division. According to the program flow, if it's not division, what do we check for?
Subtraction.
Good. We check for subtraction. So I'll say if so I input
No, you say else.
no, it's not the last. We will check for error.
Okay, subtraction is not the last.
Yes, we check for error. User input or lower. We check for error. Also subtraction. So let me just copy this and paste, since the Zoom is telling us we don't have time. So we have only 10 minutes more. I'll copy this and paste it here. Let me expand this window. So what is the first number? What is the second number? Is subtraction. So we'll put minus here. Put down.
Yes.
Now the last one is to check if it's not addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So what do we use? What keyword for conditional statement do we use?
Else.
Yes, we use else. We use else. That's it. So if it goes to else, we tell it, this is what we tell it. We tell it that there's an error. Do you get?
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
What about the comments that were attached for the other ones?
Okay, let's attach the comments. Thank you very much. So check if user input is division. Then let's put the comment for this one. Check if user input is subtraction. Then for the last one, the comment we'll put is the user input here is an error. You get, so in the else, I'll just
Yes.
print what we'll print is it is none of the above. Error,
Yes.
wrong operation, is wrong operation. You get,
Yes.
good. So I'll save it. Now we'll run this and just try only two. Then I'll show you. You'll see that this runs only once. I'll show you how to do it to run multiple times. So I'll press
Okay.
F5. What operation do you want to perform? Let's choose one. Choose one.
Multiplication.
Multiplication. What is the first number?
Let's 5.
5. What is the second number?
5.
5. So the answer is 25. Do you get? Now let's try
Yes, I do.
the error. See, it runs only once, but we want it to run as many times as we want to do it. That's when I'll introduce you to another programming concept, which is the while loop. Do you get? I'll create a new file for the while loop. I'll use a new file to demonstrate the while loop. The while loop, you use the while loop when you want something to run multiple times, but that does not mean it cannot end. You can end it while it's running. I'll show you how we end it. For example, I want my program to keep on running until I press N. You see the while loop.
Yes.
I'll say it will keep on running until I press user input. It will take user input. The number N will end the loop. You see what I said? I said N will end the loop. Do you get?
Yes. Yes.
Then I'll say print user input. You imputed user input. It will tell me what I imputed. Do you get? Then I'll say
Yes.
if user input dot lower is equal to N. You know what I'll do? I'll say break. Break means close the loop, end the loop. Do you get?
Yes.
Good. So let me
Yes.
save it now. I'll save it in that folder I created, Python teaching class. I'll call it loops. So let's see how we'll run it. This is a press a number and I'll press H. You put it H. See, it keeps on running. Do you see it? I'll press
Yes.
it keeps on running. I'll press 9. Keeps on running. Put it 9. I'll press E. But if I want to end it, I'll press N.
Yes.
Do you see it? It has ended.
Yes.
It has ended. Do you see it? So that's
Yes.
how we'll end our calculator. But I don't think time will allow us to enclose everything in a while loop. So what will happen is that all these things we have written before, we'll put them under a while loop. Do you get?
Yes.
I'll start a while loop, create a while loop for program to run repeatedly. I'll say while true. You know, a while loop has its own block. So I'll copy
Yes.
all these and put them in the block of the while loop. Maybe I might have to format them. See, I will have to format them. I hope we have the time I want them everything to be in the block of the while loop. I'm sure you are familiar with blocks. How
Yeah,
control flow have, like when we did all these if else, we use the semicolon to show they are in their own blocks. So since you are
yeah.
familiar with Python, I know you are familiar with blocks. So everything we printed before is now in the while loop block. So what I'll do is that I'll ask the user through an input, do you want to do another calculation? Want to do another calculation? Then we'll have to say yes or no. You get, if
Yes.
if it says no, if again dot lower, if it says no, that is, I'll say if it is not yes, that is, it says no, what do I do to end it?
To end it.
Yes,
And
break. I use the break.
break. Okay.
I use the break. I can change this and say if it's no. You see what I did before? I say if the input again, the variable, the input again is no, I'll say break. But if it's
Yes.
if it's y, yes, what will happen? It will continue. Is it not
Continue.
so? Yes. So let
Yes.
me save it. You can see that everything is in the while loop block. Do you get?
Yes.
Everything is in the while
Yes.
loop block. So let me run it a second time. I hope Zoom will give us the time. So what operation do we want to perform?
Let's do multiplication.
Multiplication. What will be the first number?
50.
50. Second number?
50.
50. So the answer is 2,500. Do you see the new
Yes.
thing that comes out now, the new line that comes out?
Yes. Do you
What
want
is it?
under? Do you want to do under calculation?
Good. So I'll say yes. Why? Is it not so?